Come to Sam Ash for hundreds of exclusive holiday deals on music and sound gear from the most iconic brands. Save big on professional and starter guitars, drums, digital pianos, horns, violins, DJ, and electronic production equipment. Supercharge your home studio with deals on podcasting, streaming, and AV equipment like speakers, microphones, headphones, and acoustic treatment. Plus, with 36 months no-interest financing on thousands of items, you can get the gear of your dreams right now. From our incredible selection and service to our lowest price guarantee for over 95 years, real musicians know you only go to Sam Ash.
Power bill through the roof? At 320 Solar, that power bill will be no more. In fact, about 90% of our customers report lower solar payments than with electricity. That's more power in your pocket. 320 Solar. Power up. Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down. But the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing you will do the job right every time without question. .320 Solar. Power up.
Evolution. Sports Talk Television live here nightly. All Bucs report. It's the Sports Lab. I'm your host, Jimmy Blake, giving you something to think about on tonight's show. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Will you shut up and be quiet? So if there's any doubt that Tom Brady still has it, let's leave those doubts at the door as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers move to 3-1 as they defeat the LA Chargers 38-31 here live on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web live from the Deck Bar and Grill. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49, editor-in-chief of Bucs Report, Mr. Philip Schwagler. Look at the numbers, 30 for 46, 369 yards, 5 touchdowns. Those second half adjustments were just unbelievable. This offense, and I told you guys this on the Sports Web last Monday night before Al Keck got on. The NFL needs to be petrified of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're down 24-14. And the second half, they never look back on offense. They give up a deep play, but O.J. Howard, Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Scotty Miller definitely knew today this offense was explosive. And then on top of it, guys, you got to love this. With all those passing attempts, 46 times, 0 sacks. Go ahead, Phil.
I mean, that's pretty impressive because in the past, Jameis Winston would throw, 40-something passes in a game, and he'd be sacked about 3 times in a game. So I definitely think the addition of the 12 personnel this year, definitely running with Gronkowski and, Cameron Brady, O.J. Howard, whoever have you, is definitely helping this offensive line out without giving up sacks.
No, absolutely. And the victim of volume, that would be Mr. Ronald Jones, 20 carries for 111 yards.
Finally over 100.
No touchdowns, but you give the kid the volume. He, of course, had some drops today, but ran strong when he needed it. So we got to go out to the phone lines, Blake. We'll get your thoughts here. Let's lead it off with Mr. Matt Colson. Welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here in a Bucs big victory, 38-31 to move to 3-1. What are your thoughts, Mr. Matt Colson from Oklahoma City?
Well, it was like night and day. That first half had me worried. I thought we were wearing alarm clock uniforms again.
Yeah, well, I tell you right now, Matt, it's like Blake said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we've always talked about the Bucs getting out to a fast start. They didn't necessarily get out to a fast start, but I tell you right now, this team closed the deal. Did they not?
They did that.
All right, what else, Matt?
I'm just concerned with who's in the ambulance after the game here, how much it cost us. You got Evans down. Somebody popped an Achilles.
Yeah, that would be O.J. Howard. So we'll get the latest on that. We'll see, because I tell you right now, that 28-yard touchdown really started it off. And I looked to Blake and I said, Howard, who does that look like running down that seam? That looks like Gronkowski. That's the potential that he has. But, of course, going out with Achilles, we don't know how long a long-term injury that could be. That could be a very serious injury.
Well, yeah, I'm concerned about that. But as far as this week, I'm happy. Brady's up to 9 straight wins against the Chargers, apparently.
Yeah.
Over his career. So we're just following the book. It's going to get us spoiled, Peter. We're thinking we're going to win all the time now, and sooner or later we're going to lose, and this whole world's going to collapse.
I'm going to tell you right now, all Bucs fans should expect this, and that's the Brady effect too, Phil. I mean, you're never out of the game, and that's why I said again, the NFL should be petrified of this team, because even without a Chris Godwin, can you imagine that they get Chris Godwin back? You have Mike Evans, you have Gronkowski, you don't know about O.J. Howard, but Scotty Miller stepping up, Justin Watson, we talked about what he did in the first half of the game, but he had some big catches, and the rookie, Keyshawn Vaughn, getting in on the action, of course, the go-ahead touchdown where the Bucs never looked back.
Yeah, that was impressive, and everybody that had to step up did step up, which was good, and that just goes to coaching, I think. Everybody's ready to play regardless if you're first or fifth in the roster. And if we can keep that up, we're going to have a very good year.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, look, the defense today, as we've all talked about, they have been the center of attention of the NFL. They gave up some big plays. We'll discuss it. It's just guys beating guys, but you bring blitzes. So we'll get into that. But sometimes, this is the scary thing, right? Here's what we know about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after 4 games. They can win in so many ways. They can win ugly with a defensive knockout, or they can beat you in a shootout. That's scary.
It is when you got a 43-year-old man back there just running.
I'll tell you right now, anybody, Rob Parker, Max Kellerman, all you national pundits that thought Tom Brady was done, he's not. He's still got the arm strength. The guy has accuracy. He was unbelievable today in that second half.
Well, you're right,
Absolutely.
Peter. He is done with Chapter 4. It's on to Chapter 5 now.
Right.
Bringing on the Chicago Bears.
That's it. Chicago Bears. All right, Matt, what else? Anything else?
You guys have a good afternoon. I'll keep checking back with you.
All right, let's
All right,
fire
you too.
those cannons. Good stuff there, Mr. Matt Colson. Appreciate you as always. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web live from the Deck Bar and Grill. What other Bucs platform gives you the opportunity to not only call in, but come down, visit us, be a part of the evolution of Sports Talk Television? Join the 65,000 following we got here on Facebook, of course, live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and that Bucs Report Twitch channel, which I wish had more viewers. But
I'm gonna try to help that out.
yes, absolutely. So, Blake, what else did you see out of this game besides the offense? The defense really stepped up in this second half. Big-time interception by Carlton Davis to close out the game.
That was the camel that broke the straw's back to end the game. He got hit with a big penalty earlier, came back, redeemed himself with a pick. I figured there'd be more phone calls, Peter, after a big comeback win, but I guess we'll ramble on a little bit here. The only thing I saw that was really, if you really want to talk about something that they need to clean up, is that penalty, 8 for 90 yards. They were 10 yards short than a football field on penalties. And a lot of that came that drive where a lot of gloom and doom came for the season. I see you got a call coming in. I'll come back to it. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go out to Johnny Dean, the professor, long-lost friend there. Welcome to the evolution after the Bucs go to 3-1. They beat the Chargers 38-31. What's on your mind, boss?
I want everybody to look on notice. Levante Davis is for real.
Well, we knew that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This was the nationally televised game, so I want everybody to know that was there.
We got some bad news, though, Johnny. We got some breaking news. According to Greg Auman of The Athletic, according to Bruce Arians, O.J. Howard has a ruptured Achilles
That's it.
Tendon.
tendon.
Done for the year.
He's done for the year.
You know who that is coming in, Johnny? Tanner Hudson.
Tanner Hudson, Rob Gronkowski,
Yes,
tight end's got to step up. But I tell you right now, it was a shame because go ahead.
The tight ends definitely have to step up because the wide receiver core is getting real thin out there.
Yep. Well, the tight end core is kind of getting a little thin too, and I think it's a shame because you really saw Howard and the potential.
Yeah.
What did you think about that 28-yard touchdown right down the seam? I looked at Blake. I said, man, he's got the potential like a Rob Gronkowski, man, when he beats his man.
I love that one, but I also saw him miss the seam when he was in front.
Right.
He was supposed to go into the seam that one play, and Brady threw the ball right where it needed to be, and he wasn't there.
I know what play you're talking about. He squatted on the route, and he threw it over his head.
Yeah.
So.
Well, can we get some Scotty Miller some love out there, man?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Scotty Miller, Scotty definitely knew today, catching some deep passes. I mean, Brady, once again, everybody talking about his arm strength, but able to get it out there to Miller, put it right in there, catch the ball. Scotty looked really good today, and he's starting to become that dependable receiver that we talked about the last couple of months where Brady had that chemistry with Miller. He's starting to really fulfill that expectation of this team.
Speaking of expectations,
Go ahead, John.
Blake, this is for you, buddy.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to want to lose Minter. Look, LVD goes out one play, Minter comes in that play and makes a big play. So.
Absolutely. Minter was solid when he came in last for Devin White.
Yeah.
The defense, it's not a backwards movement, it's a lateral movement with Kevin Minter coming in there. It's nothing, nobody loses a beat, communication's the same, and you get the same production. Absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have the same problem as Denver with Minter, man. That's going to be, if we lose him, that's going to be changing.
Well, I tell you right now, the Bucs aren't losing anything right now as they go to 3-1. They beat the Chargers 38-31. Give credit to where credit is due. Justin Herbert, being a rookie quarterback, he threaded the needle, made some really good throws, accurate throws, and too many deep passes by this Bucs defense today. What did you think about that?
390-something yards by Brady. So look at the running game, too. We got 100 yards running, so it was balanced.
Yep. Victim of volume, buddy. Victim of volume. Ronald Jones. I'm going to make a shirt. V-O-V, baby.
Might as well.
V-O-V.
Hey.
So.
I think Ronald Jones got with Leonard Fournette and learned how to get past the first hit.
Yeah.
Well, I like that. I like the fact. And when you see him get out into that space and they give him that sliver, just a little sliver, okay, he's able to get out to that second and third level. He's really explosive. He dropped some passes today, so you could have had more yards, but definitely need to work on that. But it was good to see 20 carries. That takes the pressure again, even though you throw the ball that many times by Brady. But I thought the most impressive aspect today. Hello, did anybody hear from Joey Bosa? Joey Bosa, did he show up today? Did he show up?
Was he playing?
Was he playing? Tristan Wirfs. Good God.
Yeah.
Just shut Joey Bosa out and basically just put him on his keister a couple times. Yeah.
A few times.
Impressive. Impressive.
Bosa was a little disruptive. He wasn't an impact.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, can we get some love for a return guy who got his bell rung today?
I don't know about this return guy, man. I'm trying to buy him, but I don't see enough big plays. And we've seen.
No.
He's talking about Varner.
Varner.
Yeah, Varner.
He's one catch and one done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Concussion.
He was
Concussion,
one step away from him taking it to the house that one.
Yep. And then he has a concussion. Yeah. But so we'll check on the injury situation. Overall, though, the breaking news is O.J. Howard is out with a ruptured Achilles tendon, according to Greg Allman of The Athletic and Bruce Arians presser. So disappointing in that.
Evans too, because he played hurt all day.
He did. Still had 100 yards receiving, just like I said there, Blake Anthony, right? I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to have guys that step up. Here's a guy that is not necessarily 100%. Phil and Blake steps up, and that's why Mike Evans is one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. He really is.
Absolutely.
So. All right. Good stuff, Johnny. Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you, right? We'll fire those cannons for you. There we go.
Hey, real quick from the Bruce Arians press conference.
Thanks a lot, Johnny. Yeah.
He was just saying that Chris Godwin is more than likely not playing on Thursday night, but Leonard Fournette is a maybe.
All right, so Leonard Fournette, let's go out to the phone lines here. Mr. Gene, a Buck, what you heard. Welcome to the Evolution. You are with yours truly, Editor-in-Chief of Bucs Report, Mr. Philip Swagler, and, of course, Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49 after the Bucs' big victory over the Chargers, 38-31 to move to 3-1. What's on your mind tonight, boss?
Hey, man, that was a good game. This is a game that I really don't see the Bucs winning last year.
No. And you know why?
I think
you know why? Because after that turnover, you would think that you would have a couple more turnovers, but that's the true professional in Tom Brady. And when everybody keeps on saying that this guy doesn't have it, turn on the tape. The guy still has it. When you give him time and you give up no sacks on that offensive line, you give him more than 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, he's going to pick you apart.
He had a lot of time today.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, and when I think about Donovan Smith, I'm so nervous about this guy because Tom Brady's just one hit away.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him consistently not doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So, no, but it was a great game. It's one of those games, it's a defining game to me because, at the halftime, you don't think the Bucs are going to win. So they came back and they kept it all together and did what they needed to do.
No, they absolutely did. And look, the defense didn't necessarily have their best game today. But in the end, when they needed to make a stop, they closed it out. That was the impressive thing, especially Carlton Davis, who, look, he still needs to improve on his penalty situation because there were some penalties called against him today. But, if you want to be a top 10 corner in this league and you got an opportunity to close it out, you do, well, then people are going to continue to talk about you being as a top 10 corner.
Absolutely. I think he'll come with time. I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, I think he'll be just fine, too. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, and one more thing is Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yes.
I was very happy with what he did, and I'm glad that he's starting to get reps, and I think that that's going to help the Bucs on down the road as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely – look, they drafted him in the 3rd round out of Vanderbilt. Very impressive versus an LSU defense. All we heard throughout the whole – through our own Nick Citro, how he could catch the ball out of the backfield, how he could run with power and speed. And I get it. Jones had some drops today, but that 9-yard touchdown, it may seem that's important for him and for his confidence. And you could see Brady how happy it was to connect, and the Bucs never look back at that. That's your go-ahead touchdown right there. So it's nice to see once again, Gene and everybody else here, that your rookies once again are contributing. You've had Antoine Winfield, and now you got Keyshawn Vaughn. The next guy, I think, to really step up, hopefully, is going to be Tyler Johnson.
And Tristan Wirfs. Don't forget about Tristan
Wirfs. Can't forget about him. I mean, he's been a guy that you're not talking about, but that's a good thing because when you're talking about your offensive line, usually you're talking about Donovan Smith. Tristan Wirfs, I think, did a great job today versus a Joey Bosa. Made him completely disappear.
Non-existent.
Non-existent, yeah.
Yep, and that's what this offensive line needs. I don't know if they need to scheme to help Donovan Smith or what, but he just appears to be the weak link on that line.
Well, again, give him credit. He did a fair enough job. Now you've got a matchup nightmare versus a Khalil Mack, and it'll be interesting to see here, Blake. We kind of talked about this after the game a little bit before we got on. If they're going to bring a Gronkowski in there to help him out, do you have enough confidence in a Smith to go against a Khalil Mack on that Thursday night game versus the Bears?
I'd be very limited times where I would want to leave Donovan Smith all alone with a future Hall of Famer and Khalil Mack.
Totally agree.
But you're going to have to, again, it's going to have to be the same thing. So if you do that, if you put Gronk over there, that means Brake and Tanner Hudson have to produce on the tight end position if you're going to do that, because you, like I said earlier, each receiver is responsible for 20% of the play. With those guys back in the backfield blocking, you're limiting your percentages, a chance of running your full offense.
Yeah. No, absolutely. What else, Gene?
No, that's it, man. You guys are doing a great job. Phil, what's going on? And
what's going on, OG?
Blake, you guys are doing a great job.
Absolutely, man. We do this for all the web heads out there. We appreciate it. And once again, Gene Thomas of Buck What You Heard, which can be seen and heard here exclusively on Bucs Report Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. Don't be a stranger here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television, all right?
All right, guys. Enjoy the win.
Absolutely. Right. And Bucs fans, are you enjoying the win? I mean, get on the phone lines here. I know there was that pick six. Everybody was losing their minds when the Bucs were down at halftime, but you never give up on this offense. There's way too much talent, and it always goes back to Tom Brady, the Brady effect, how he played in that second half. I mean, talk about it, Phil.
No, I think Byron Leftwich definitely came back into the second half of the game with a better game plan than they had in the first. And then this is the thing that we need to see from the Buccaneers offense. We need to see 4 full quarters of football. Successful football, all 4 quarters for the offense. And we're starting to see it in weird periods, all right? Maybe sometimes in the third period they're not playing too good, or third quarter not so good. In the fourth quarter, got to see it consistently through. But the game plan going in the second half was definitely great, showing everything that Brady can do, throwing it small, or throwing the small ball, throwing the deep ball, throwing to the tight ends, throwing to Scotty Miller, the small receivers, and really playing off some of those defensive backs with his eyes. So definitely a lot better at second half.
No, absolutely here. And again, this Sports Web edition is powered by 320solar.com. We're live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. Get on the phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Editor-in-Chief of Bucs Report, Mr. Philip Schwegel. Let's go out to the webheads here, read some comments. Paul Riley says, what a great game. Jason says, what a great day. Robert says, that one was a roller coaster of emotions. Dave says, way too much advertising on this now. I want to talk about our Bucs. I'm sorry, guys. We got to pay bills. Sorry.
Well, I'll just put it to you like this. If people are paying to have their advertisements displayed, they're going to have their advertisements displayed.
Right, exactly. And here's what I think about when people say that. You pay me, you let me know, okay? You
like
start paying me, we'll get right on.
Commercials
we'll get right on it. Got lucky. Somebody says Aaron Smith says got lucky. Bucs got lucky today?
I think Bucs were the better team in the second half. I mean, you got Tom Brady back there.
I will say the one aspect that really got the ball rolling was at the end of the half, bonehead play by the Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah, almost Los Angeles Chargers, handing that ball off in shotgun and fumbling the exchange for a turnover in your red zone. That really is what sparked everything to go into the second half. And after that point, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pretty much got rolling in the second half. From there on, he just carried on.
Absolutely. Let's go out to the phone lines. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television after this big Bucs victory. 38-31 over the Los Angeles Chargers, move to 3-1. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
I like that.
It.
I like that.
I mean, I want to fire those cannons after you hear
I'm not playing with that.
they got lucky. I mean, if you want to call in and say go Bucs.
All I got to tell you, Spears, I like the same energy that you got after the games as you did when Tom Brady threw the pick six. Shouldn't you be celebrating? But it seems like there's more energy when bad stuff happens when there's good stuff that happens.
Right.
Isn't that weird?
It's so weird. It's so weird. But hey, the Bucs got lucky.
I think
too much advertisements on the show, by the way.
I think we might be getting to a point with the Buccaneers now. And they said, I think it was Ira Kaufman said it on his latest podcast. that Buccaneers are playing so well now, better than they have in the past. Now that everyone's starting to nitpick, and it's actually on the Scuttlebucks podcast. Actually, they were talking about it. So people, how you see all the negativity when like seasons pass. Oh, the Buccaneers should have done it, and now the Buccaneers are playing well enough to win. They're 3-1 right now. Now people are starting to nitpick. Oh, they should have done this better here. They should have done that better.
Right.
I mean, when did we finally get to this point to where we can start nitpicking a good team?
It's not a Picasso by any means because they definitely had a rough start in the first half, getting down 24-14. Yeah. Very fortunate that Chargers turn over the ball, give them right, but and they still gave up some big plays on defense, which you have to correct. But at the end of the day, we've been talking all about the defense. And we've been saying how the offense has struggled. Well, now the offense in the second half comes out flying, and people are saying, well, they got lucky.
Yeah,
they got lucky?
Let me jump in there and give props for props is due. Game ball goes to Byron Leftwich this week. A lot of it's gone to Todd Bowles with the defense. Todd Bowles kind of got out-coached this week. In my opinion, he got out-coached.
But then again, you got to look on their side of the ball, too. They have good playmakers, too. They make plays sometimes, too. Yes, the Buccaneers may have blown coverages here and there, but
it wasn't just blown. It was bad timing. You do not call a 7-man blitz.
Yep.
You have full momentum. No safety over the top.
Third down, too.
Press coverage. No help anywhere. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at you and you said the same thing. All right, let's go back out to the webheads here. Richard says, yeah. Tampa says Roberts. Dylan says big time win. Jason says yep. Anwar, Bucs win. Hope OJ is not out for the season with an Achilles injury. He is. That is the breaking news of the day here, according to Greg Allman of The Athletic. According to Bruce Arians, OJ Howard does have a ruptured Achilles tendon. So bad news right there.
How does that play out with contract year too? This is contract year too. Does that hurt? It hurts his leverage.
Well, it hurts his leverage
every season too.
But I mean, and what you have with OJ Howard is full of potential, but he just never been able to stay healthy consistently.
No,
that's why he's the GOAT, says Christopher Cole. Let's go out to Jason here. We are now getting a rep for closing games here soon, and now our only loss is against the Saints, who had some trouble today. I don't know what the latest score on that game against the Lions, but it was close. So we'll get an update on that. Safeties came up twice. Chargers threw up touchdowns both times I saw. Jeff says go Bucs. I guess it's a BRY Guy 322. Great win. Go Bucs.
Saints
Milo
win
says,
that game, by the way.
Saints won the game.
Yep.
So there you go. Saints win the game. So they stay in contention, of course, for that NFC South. That run D is dominant, as they've always been. Although there were times today in the first half where I was looking at you, Blake, it almost felt like even with the two missed starters from the Chargers offensive line, they were still able to really get penetration. That second half, it really turned the tide.
Yeah, because they made adjustments. You started taking away Herbert's early reads underneath, and they started jumping those, making the tackles on the back into space, jumping those. As you saw earlier, they was running double screens to the running back and screen to the wide receiver. Any way they could find to get the ball out of Herbert's hands quick. Todd Bowles changed up his D, and they made adjustments. So that makes Herbert hold the ball longer, so which you can get to the quarterback and get those sacks and get those error throws.
Right, absolutely. Let's see here. That D is dominant. We just got caught up with no safeties deep twice. Jeff says Brady.
Oh, no. The first one, your safeties were deep. They're peeking in the backfield.
Both of them were there.
There was coverage, but they blew it. They blew the coverage.
Right.
The call was right.
Right.
And if Whitehead just plays the receiver, he gets the interception, but he's too busy looking at Herbert and don't think he can get the ball there.
That's a rookie mistake.
Whitehead's not a rookie. Remember, Whitfield was on the far side.
Okay.
It just looked like it because he's that fast. He got over top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me.
That's all good.
There you go. That's why he's Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49 exclusively here on Bucs Report Monday.
Whitfield make no mistakes, bro.
I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Editor-in-Chief of Bucs Report, Mr. Philip Swigger. Open phone lines if you want to get on the phone line. 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. Again, we're here live and talking to you about the Bucs' big victory over the LA Chargers, 38-31 to go to 3-1. Up next, a short week, and we will be here for you on Thursday night versus the Chicago Bears. I see it. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay. Bucs win. Brady throws for 5 touchdowns Tell me I'm not dreaming.
Right? I mean, just Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, the only other two quarterbacks that have thrown 300-yard games and five touchdowns. You guys must be going crazy there, but I know you guys were just talking about O.J. Howard, and,
right?
Out for the year now with ruptured tendon. Now back on April 20th of this year, the Bucs exercised the 5th-year option on his contract.
Sure.
So the plan was all along, and that's why that's the question I pose to you guys right now. After what we saw today, have we seen enough this year? The kid's going to be rehabbing it all the way back.
Sure.
Sometimes the key players come back even stronger and better rehabbing. Have you learned enough from Gronk? Have you seen enough? Because that exercising that 5th-year option doesn't guarantee for injury. It's just guaranteed that we want to keep him around for next year. The Bucs are now going to have to decide. What do you guys think at this point? Just how it goes right now.
For me, the money is going to be lower, so I think you're definitely going to sign him because of the potential. You've invested already a number 1 pick in him. I think he's done just enough. I think there'll be teams out there that'll be interested, maybe not as interested before. So I'm definitely going to bring him back. How do you feel about it?
Well, the thing is, because we exercise the 5th-year option, he gets the increase in value on
Sure.
the contract. So we'd be
Sure.
paying him as not a top tight end, but he'd be getting paid. And so obviously they're going to have to keep their eyes on how the rehab comes along and everything. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to say one game of career does make, but we've seen him coming on the last couple of weeks and
Sure.
the way he looked today.
Absolutely.
I was thinking the Bucs would have to be thinking for sure about wanting to keep him around.
Well, here's the thing, Ray and Phil, you could comment on this. Gronkowski is only on for 1 year, and he's making $9.5–10 million. So that decision in itself may factor in. They may keep both of them, but you have some big decisions that you're going to have to make in this offseason, namely with the Chris Godwin and, of course, a Shaq Barrett and Levante David. So that may play into it. And, of course, we know this cap situation isn't going up.
Yeah,
so
no, not this year.
No.
And I think it's something the Buccaneers kind of looked at, signing Rob Gronkowski to that 1-year deal. Can he get O.J. Howard on that kind of level of consistency, being one of the better tight ends in the league? And, we started to see it a little bit in flashes. He still has those boneheaded drops, and he's such a big guy, and he doesn't muscle other players. That's one of the things that we all get aggravated with here, week in and week out.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't see the Buccaneers not bringing him back for his 5th year.
Yeah, I think they definitely bring him back. That's where I'm going with it. Blake, do you think they bring him back?
Tough to say. It's going to see who's going to offer O.J. Howard something, in the offseason. You never know. I said stranger things have happened, like John Gruden with Darian Waller with tight end. So who knows? Somebody might be able to use O.J. better. Yeah. You don't know.
Well, Blake, you would know this, brother, because you pretty much know a lot of the contractual stuff. So if the Bucs did rescind that 5th-year option, which they offered again on April 20th this year, they gave them the 5th-year option. If they rescinded it, then it does go to the highest. It goes to the highest bidder. So you probably see the Bucs doing that. I only say that because, as Philip just said, even going back to the days at Alabama, we've seen this kid that looks and has the speed of a receiver as a tight end position, but at the pro level, we get to see the aggressiveness. We get to see the blocking that we need from that tight end. He has been a complete package. I'd like to know what the coaches have to say as far as what they've seen in camp with Gronk now kind of giving him tutelage. And we saw today, I love that when he scored that touchdown and Brady went in and just gave him a hug because it looked like Brady was telling him, kid, you've arrived.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely. I mean, you go down that seam, and as I was telling Blake and Phil, he's got that potential to be a Rob Gronkowski type of player. He just beats his man, and Brady is so accurate on those mid to deep passes. I mean, it's just amazing. Put it right there. OJ caught it, touchdown. It's a shame that he's going to miss the rest of the season with a ruptured Achilles. What else, Tampa Bay Ray?
2 things. 1, Keyshawn on. Man up. Man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Now, Rojo, Victor McVolley gets his time.
Yes.
And now we went just last week trying to figure out if Leonard Fournette should be starting. And you go from week to week because you play the hot hand, but now I'm thinking that we've got Rojo starting, but now I'm wanting to see Keyshawn on in that second position, and it's not a knock on Leonard. We're still going to see him too.
Sure.
But I'll be honest, guys, and I thank you guys for wrapping it up for me today. I was celebrating my son's birthday.
Happy birthday, Tristan.
T-Money.
Yeah, Tristan said thank you, brothers, but I was at Bonefish Grill, and I missed it. Just please tell me what happened on that suck-up missed field goal.
I think he just pulled it.
Yeah,
he just pulled it. But look, when he needed to make the field goal, the 26-yarder, he made it. There was no drama at that point. That's the difference between 35-31 and 38-31, because then at that point, You have your defense who you have confidence in. They have to score a touchdown.
Go the length of the field to score.
So I'm okay with it. So
Well, I tell you, like Eugene Thomas from Buck, what you heard even said, how last year's team wouldn't have won this game because we were so far down in the dumps. The team looked so bad at that point. We even missed that field goal. And it's just to come back from all of that. There were even in today's where we got down low but came back and won, we still feel like we exercised more team. And I'm just jacked up and ready for Thursday night, fellas.
all right, come on back Thursday night. We'll have it right for you here on the Sports Web, the evolution of sports talk television, live on Bucs Report, powered by 320solar.com. All right, yeah, get that power in there.
I'll see you brothers Thursday night.
All right, there you go.
Brother.
Best of the Bay, Mr. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. I got Frank Ammons here from 320 Solar coming on. Let me read the rest of these comments here. I'll get you on, and then we also have the dude in the lobby. And then, of course, your phone call, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web after the Bucs moved to 3-1 here, live from the Deck Bar and Grill. They beat the Los Angeles Chargers 38-31. Brady throws for 5 touchdowns here. Let's go out to Jeff Quinn. Brady had me worried in the first half, but he tightened up in the second half. Jensen and Evans need to chill out. No sacks in this game against Brady. Are you kidding? So happy. Kareem, great win, Bucs. Jason, if this was last year, Herbert would have killed us. He played amazing, but our D and O-line really did step up and adjust. That's what a playoff team does. There you go. Cameron Brate, Vaughn, great job. We had a Cameron Brate sighting, and
A touchdown.
you look at this play. We watched it. They had 3 tight ends split out. It looked like Gronk was open, but he went to Brate. It was nice to see Brate catch a pass this year for a touchdown.
Well, yeah, I saw. At first, I thought he was Brate was going to go to the flats, and Gronk was going to come over the top. But Brate fooled the defense, faked like he was going out in the flats, turned back inside. Brady put the ball in a great place, low, and protected the wide.
Nobody else is going to be able to
it's
catch
either
that.
to the ground
Right.
or to the receiver.
Right.
And Brady makes those catches. He threw it in there, and he made that catch. And I know it felt good for him to get a Brate/Gronk slam, TD slam.
Mhm.
Ironically, it was funny watching Gronk look at him doing like, "Hey, that's my move."
Right, right. And we have yet to see Gronkowski in there,
and
but
I'm fine with the win.
they missed a play there with Gronkowski
Yeah, they
though.
did.
If Brady, this is Brady, this is on Brady. If Brady puts it where it needs to be, Gronk has that for
one.
a touchdown.
Yeah, he just put a little touch on that one.
Right.
There's no
Yep, let
no
it fall
safety
in.
there
Right.
to worry about. All you do is just drop it in.
You kind of missed that play
Yeah.
like last week. So Gronk
Yeah.
right now still looking for his first touchdown, but
And he missed that touchdown too earlier, I think, in the third quarter with that one-handed grab we thought he had, but it ended up dropping out of the back of
that's
the
tough
end zone.
coverage.
ended
But
up
yeah.
dropping it. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, we'll read more of these comments. We'll get out to Frank Ammons at 320solar.com. Worfs is a beast, says Jeff. Jason, okay, being out may force Gronk to step up. Not that he didn't have a great catch or two today. OJ, Edward Gross, Brady is balling. Jeff, Vaughn is going to be hot when he starts getting more reps. Christopher Cole, did you all see Brady's face on the sideline like he was pissed?
Oh yeah.
He was in that MJ zone. Absolutely.
Yep.
Don't call it a
Oh, yeah.
comeback, says Mike. He definitely was MJ mindset that whole second half. Jason, fire them cannons. We are 3-1. Absolutely. I'll do that for you. There you go. Let's see. Jeff Quinn, laugh out loud. Brady faced what? We got the ball back on the goal line. Okay, let's get to work. The Bucs really performed great. The coaches out-coached, and I guess the
Bucs really performed
out,
great. The coaches out-coached,
yes.
and the Ayers came through.
Yeah, I don't know.
Robert
Big-
Ayers is gone.
Robert Ayers is gone.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Biggest
Hey, but he was
comeback
tweeting all
victory.
day.
Will you shut up?
Oh,
Yes.
Got 3 sounds playing.
Biggest comeback victory since the win at KC
Yeah,
in
it's big.
2008. I thought it was a complete game. We weren't perfect, but we adjusted. By that, I mean
That's
the
what you
coaches.
do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the coaches coached and the players made plays to overcome. Absolutely good stuff. Mike says, made much bigger defensive adjustments. Brady came back blazing. Earl, good win. Rojo, new name. I butter hit hands.
Butterhand Jones.
Butter hands Jones.
that's true. He
I
can't
tell you
catch.
what, though, the victim of volume, guys.
He ran
over
well.
100 yards
ran
today,
well.
20 carries. Give the kid volume. I'm
Can't
telling
catch
you.
to save his life. But
Leonard Fournette may play against the Chicago Bears on Thursday, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Maybe. That's
We'll-
what he says.
We'll
Good
see.
chance.
It's a good problem to have. Mike Evans always coming back after a tough start. Ronald Butterfingers
I agree.
Jones. Okay. Jeffrey says, OJ out for the season, all Gronk and break now. What is the realistic outcome or prediction for Thursday night? Just want your opinion, guys.
I need to find out what injuries on Chicago.
Yeah, we'll hold off on that there, Jason. Nice try. What happened to OJ?
Achilles.
Ruptured Achilles tendon, according to Greg Almanoff, the Athletic, from Bruce Arians and his presser. Have to keep OJ. Blew his Achilles, says Jason. Dang, Frankie says we don't need Gronk. Oh yeah, you need Gronk now.
Oh yeah,
I do prefer to have
double
him.
team. So is he taking today? How
Right,
many times?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I pointed out, I said they're doubling Gronk.
Yes, yes.
Frees up someone
You
else.
have a great addition to the old line. Frankie says yes, but he's an extra lineman that we don't need. We need to cut Donovan Smith and get a good tackle. Guys, I get it. The whole Donovan Smith thing, the love fest or non-love fest, but there was no sacks given up today. And I got to be honest with you. I really didn't see Donovan Smith in those precarious situations, Leo Ward, of where he was getting dominated. I didn't see that.
I kind of told you, predicted that at the beginning of the week. He's only lucky because Bosa doesn't play both sides. He's not versatile. He only plays one side. Now, had Melvin Ingram been there, we'd be having a different conversation.
Right.
But I said that earlier. I said he got lucky this week that you're not playing a premier pass rush. Granted, he didn't the week in New Orleans either, but that kid is still playing good, that 91 kid in New Orleans. But he got lucky this week, and he gets an average grade this week. He didn't put Brady on his back.
I'm not going to say –
he got one holding penalty.
I'm not going to say he got lucky. I think he played better.
Yeah.
And look, left tackles are not growing on trees.
No.
They're not.
Especially one that has as many starts as he does.
And that's the reason.
Stays as healthy as he does.
Guys, that's the reason why you have a Rob Gronkowski in the first place. So if
I'm
you
a
have
tight end,
right,
baby.
well, if he's a blocking tight end, he's going to help out on a Khalil Mack on Thursday night.
Gonna need it.
And he's very essential to the 12 personnel that they run. And they run 12 personnel a lot.
Right. Exactly. Without him, see if we run or even have Brady long enough for a game to finish Smith is garbage. I agree, but that's exactly why we need Gronk. And when coverage drops, Gronk is a wide receiver. Definitely shout out to 320 Solar. Braid is underrated. We shall see. Underrated. Jeff says Braid is underrated. He is way more consistent than OJ. Arians must have told him last week, if you can't play 4 quarters, at least make those 2 count. OJ Howard out for the season. This will be a tough loss for us. RBJ. And Brake needs to step up big time. Let's go out to Frank Ammons of 320solar.com after the Bucs moved to 3-1. They beat the Los Angeles Chargers, nearly set San Diego, 38-31. Your thoughts?
Well, they had us. There was a series of events that really had me a little shaken with the pick six, and then Mike Evans coming up a little hobbled there. And then drop passes again. So there was a couple series of events that really had me worried for a little bit there, but we turned it around with the defense. Still, the defense continues to get turnovers, which is great, and made it a great game for us to be able to pull out and win in the second half. I thought Brady played well, especially second half. He looked really like a man on a mission.
He really did. I mean, 30 for 46, 369, 5 touchdowns. Of course, he had the pick six, but that was in the first half. In the second half, he was money, and I felt like the offensive line, as much criticism as we bestowed upon them, really did a bang-up job today of allowing no sacks and really not a lot of pressure in that second half.
I wanted to ask Blake, both the pick sixes have come with Watson going onto the outs. Does he think there's anything to that?
Watson doesn't fight for the ball, doesn't put himself between the ball and the wide receiver. As you can see, was the big catch. I'll tell you the difference. You see the catch that Mike Evans had on the right sideline where he thought the ball was going to be overthrown and picked off. What did Mike Evans do? He started grabbing the defender to not allow him to pick the ball off. He got away with offensive pass interference, but you're not allowed a defender to catch a pick and turn it over. Granted, yes, a lot of the inner pick sixes have been to Justin Watson with Brady, both to Brady to him and Jameis Winston as well, throwing pick sixes, throwing to Justin Watson. So I don't know what it is about Watson and these out routes. He's not digging far enough in his route.
Just throw it out of the playbook because it doesn't work, and it's like going back to the Odell Beckham game against the Cowboys, where if your quarterback is throwing it in a situation and there's an opportunity for an interception, that wide receiver is going to do everything he can to shield his body and cut off that opportunity. That's what Justin Watson hasn't done throughout his career, and needs to do it, or he's most likely not going to be on this team.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that Brady got the ball around to, I think, 10 different players today. So it was a great way for him to distribute the ball around. So that's a great thing, see him be able to use the different weapons. Now, unfortunately, we're down one weapon with OJ being out, but good news is we got some depth there. So hopefully we can still tap into the tight end play. So, and the tight ends got involved again, so that was a good thing.
How concerned are you about losing Howard against the Bears on a short week? I mean, do you feel like they're going to get more Gronk and more Braid, especially Braid? He caught a touchdown today. Would you expect him to get more involved into this offense versus a Bears defense that's pretty good, but is susceptible to those tight ends across the middle?
Well, I think with Howard, you see he's got a little bit more breakaway speed, so he gets open a little bit more. Gronk may not be as breakaway as he used to be, so it's going to be a little bit different because obviously that's why you saw Howard get more involved in the game along the way. But I think if you take into account the missed throw that Brady had over Gronk's head, you clean that up, you should be able to turn that around and see Gronk really get involved in the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely wrong. With Frank Ammons of 320solar.com. Really quick, tell the people out there what you're doing with 320solar.com.
Well, yeah, what we're doing is we're actually putting the power back in people's pockets. So if you own your home and you want to create your own energy, you can do it. And it's a great time to do that by going solar with 320 Solar. You can see I got my email address there. If you guys want to email me, I have a great promotion that I'll extend to only the people who email me that was going on in September that will give you no payments till January 22. That's January 2022. You won't have to pay for solar panels at all until then, and it'll save you a ton of money. It's got a great ton of benefits. It'll help your property value go up. It'll give you tax benefits, and at the end of the day, it's clean energy. So you can't beat it when you think about going solar. So go to our website and check us out. Love to help anybody I can.
All right, good stuff, Frank. Thanks a lot for coming on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Right, there you go. Good stuff there. So back here, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with editor-in-chief of Bucs Report, Mr. Philip Schwegler, one of the best chefs I know. This guy can definitely cook a prime rib.
You don't know a lot of chefs, though, right?
Well,
Oh, no.
we got Blake Anthony. You know what I think about that right there. All right, we got Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49 here. What does it say there? I didn't read that. Oh, okay. Well, you got to get out of here then, huh?
Yeah, I got to hit the work.
All right. So, give me your final thoughts on this game after the Bucs beat the LA Chargers 38-31 to move to 3-1.
Finished the first quarter of the season, finished 3-1, something they haven't done in a very long time.
2011.
Yep, 2011. Phil's been on that. Here's the part of it. Everybody wants to nitpick, is what Peter said earlier, and Phil was saying. Nobody ever plays a full, complete game where everything is perfect and everything runs smoothly. It doesn't happen. But what happens is the good teams and the bad teams. The bad teams find ways to lose, and the good teams find ways to win. Tampa Bay Buccaneers had all odds against them this week. Turnovers, couldn't get anything going. Bad play calling, missed opportunities. Everything you name it happened. What did they do? Did they stick their tails between their legs and put their heads down and walk back to the sidelines with the 10,000 fans that were allowed to come to the game? They rallied together, got motivated, and put on an onslaught in the second half of the game and came away with a victory. That is the difference between what you've seen before and what happened now.
All right, go ahead and promote your show, which will be on tomorrow and Friday at 3 o'clock. It is Sports Talk 49. Go for it.
Yep. See you guys tomorrow doing the post-game talk. Try to figure out what the breaking point is. What breaking point? What was the deciding factor? What sealed the deal? And we'll just talk about post-game, what you guys thought and stuff like that. I'm just going from there. Just take questions and answers and stuff.
All right, good stuff, Blake. Thanks a lot for coming on the Evolution, all right?
Yep.
We'll see you soon. All right, so there you go, Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. We got the editor-in-chief. I'm going to move over just a tad there. There we go. Thanks a lot. And again, open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blick, giving you something to think about as the Bucs move to. Well, you all right there? You're not going to knock me down.
Let's go, old man. Get out of here.
Don't knock me down.
Get out of the camera shot.
Yeah. No more camera time for you. Back here. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a problem there. I don't know what happened with the internet, but we are back. Definitely get on the phone lines here. We'll read some of these comments, and then we will get back to it. All right, buddy. See you later. Okay, so let's see here. Johnny Dean. Evans now has 5 touchdown catches, 5 touchdown catch games in a row. I mean, that's impressive in itself.
That's a franchise record, I think. Well, I read earlier from Buccaneers Communication. So pretty impressive. I mean, he already pretty much holds every receiving record in, the Bucs records book.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. All right, Brady tied Manning today in second most 300-yard games. He's like 93, and like Drew Brees has 121.
Yeah, like
I saw
122, some ridiculous thing like that.
Yeah, I saw that. Let's see. That was a bad route by Watson. Bad pass play by Brady. Ron says Gronk should see more action in the passing game now. Misador, you will more than likely see Brait in the slot. Bucs Report, email Frank now for an amazing deal. Again, the Sports Web powered by 320solar.com, live from the deck bar and grill. They're using Gronk as a decoy. Watch it. The Bucs do make the playoffs. How different that scheme becomes. Remember, you heard it here first. 3-1, baby. Davis pick was the breaking point and lost the feed, but we are back here. There you go. Blake unplugged the Wi-Fi. I think that's exactly what he. Well, I don't know what he did. It was something. So we gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll read more comments. Ugly but great win. Jeff says, way to finish, boys. Feels good to pull those type of wins off. Used to it going the other way. Go Bucs. Sitton says, yes, sir. Go Bucs. Love it, big baby. LFG says, Misador again. 13-3 this year. That's what I said. Bulls finally dialed it back. SMB definitely not 100%. Rojo iced it. Stupid penalties. Bad news for sure, but we got break. Need a bye week badly. This is all from Misador. Rojo looked good. LBD better. Be an all-pro. D. Smith is still hot garbage. Warp is the real deal. Michael says hello. Michael says Tampa Bay Lightning and the Cup were there. That was good. You're welcome for the Go Bucs shout-out, says Alex. So that was you. Okay. Very cool. Bulls got greedy. SMB definitely not. And Sandra Nagel, my great mother and also agent, your check is in the mail. Watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web of Bucs Report. Great show as always. Need work on catching the ball, play Brady ball. And I think there were times today where, yes, there were some drop passes. Of course, we talked about Ronald Jones early on. What else did you see out of this game?
I mean, other than, the adjustments, which I think really took over the game, we're still seeing this defense, closing out the games for the Buccaneers, doing what they're supposed to, getting stops when they're supposed to. And I'll go back and I'll say special teams too. This in seasons past, we're all here closing our eyes, holding our breath for all these kicks and extra points and everything like that. You only had that one missed field goal, which went, I think, wide left or whatnot. So definitely seeing the team
44 yards. Yeah,
44
yards.
Yeah.
It's usually a gimme, not a good kick by Suckup, but he makes up for it later on with the 26
He sure does. The point I was trying to make before we lost internet because of Blake.
Yeah, you, Blake. This is what you get, Blake.
This isn't college football, and this is something Scott Lang and Jeff Cameron said on their podcast earlier this week. You don't get points for style, winning games early, losing games early in the season. If the Buccaneers make the Super Bowl, no one's looking back at week 3, week 4, week 5, thinking about what they did. As long as they close out the games and they win, it doesn't matter how bad or nasty it is. They're still putting a W in that win column. And then if we're still correct here, the Buccaneers are still number 1 in the NFC South heading into the second quarter of the season.
Yeah, Carolina with a surprising victory today over the Arizona Cardinals, so they're 2-2.
Yeah.
The Saints. Again, they beat the Detroit Lions, so we'll see what the Falcons can do on Monday night. And, of course, if you missed it earlier this morning, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN, the Chiefs versus the Patriots will be at 7 o'clock on CBS on Monday night. And then, of course, you'll have the other game flex, which will be the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. Looking at Justin Herbert, because we talked about him as a rookie quarterback, I was impressed. I mean, look, he had the rookie mistake there at the end, but overall – really impressed with the young man, and I think the sky's the limit for him with his mobility. But 20 for 24, 290, 3 touchdowns, of course, the 1 interception at the end. But overall, he's got everything you want as a quarterback. He's big, he's prototypical, he can make all the throws, and he made some throws today that made that Bucs defense pay.
No, he definitely did. And him watching the defense and taking what they're giving to him, especially with that long touchdown in the beginning we were talking about, Jordan Whitehead kind of blowing that coverage, not playing to the receiver, more or less playing the ball, not thinking it's going over there. And he saw that. He saw their single coverage over the top with just the safety, so he threw it there. So there's definitely a lot of things that the Chargers can really look forward to with Justin Herbert. But I still think they're going to be, putting Tyrod Taylor back there again because they have not put him on IR yet.
I wouldn't.
Which is something that you would do if you're not going to play him. Put him on IR.
I wouldn't. As much as I get it, Tyrod Taylor may win you some games as a veteran quarterback. Yeah. To me, Justin Herbert is your future.
I mean, I definitely think so, but, looking at what the Chargers might do, I think Tyrod's going to be playing it here again, maybe the next week or so. But, looking at the first half, it was a totally different guy going into the second half, especially in that fourth quarter. I saw Justin Herbert not really trust what he was doing a little bit, towards that when the game got really, really close and the Buccaneers started really coming back. And, that's something, Todd Bowles was dialing up, not throwing the whole kitchen sink in there and dropping some linebackers into coverage, stuff like that. That's something he'll build upon there, but it definitely helped out the Buccaneers today to get this victory.
All right, so the Bucs beat the LA Chargers 38-31. What do you guys think about it? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We are watching the game here with Indianapolis and Chicago. Of course, the Bears, their next opponent. We talked about Khalil Mack. They had some quarterback controversy already with Nick Foles. This could be a matchup, a Super Bowl 52 matchup between Nick Foles and Tom Brady. What do you think?
Yeah, I still like the Buccaneers here, but then again, I still got to watch this game and figure out who's injured or whatnot. But I think I called it when we started doing our season preview articles that Nick Foles would be the starting quarterback by week 3. So I was pretty good on that one. But, this team has been good against Nick Foles. Looking back, Ryan Fitzpatrick played those 3 games for Jameis Winston during his suspension over on the Eagles side. So they kind of go into this game kind of understanding some tendencies that Nick Foles will have. Not necessarily the whole offense of what the Chicago Bears does, but, they have a foot in the door, I guess you could say.
Yeah, early on in this game, the Chargers lost to Austin Eckler, so that definitely helped out. But the running game was a non-factor at all. I also think I was a little bit disappointed with the Bucs defensive line. They had a sack with Shaq Barrett. But overall, with all the injuries that the Chargers had on the line, give credit to where credit is due.
Yeah.
The Chargers on that line did a good job of holding the Bucs at bay with the sacks, especially the last 2 games where the Bucs had 5 sacks versus the Panthers, 6 sacks versus the Broncos. Yeah,
definitely saw a lot of sloppy tackling. Definitely in that first half. You're down. I think it was 3 of 5 starters. They're down on the offensive line. How you didn't get more sacks in that game? I still have to figure it out. Watch the film on it, but definitely that could have been the point for Todd Bowles. Let's try some exotic things like he did last week. We saw a lot of exotic blitz. Having different people fall into coverage or whatnot, and that's kind of something I really wanted to see in that first half, but really didn't because the Buccaneers fell behind 21-7. So.
All right, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Philip Schwegler, editor-in-chief of Bucs Report, live from the Deck Bar and Grill. The food today was spectacular. Of course, I had my traditional 40 medium wings with a little celery for you veggie heads out there.
He did not eat any of the celery, though.
Yes, I did. That's a lie. That's a lie because I did. No, they're not. There's nothing on the table because I ate it all. So, once again, great wings, great service, great food. Everything is unbelievable here at the Deck Bar and Grill. And, of course, the Bucs move to 3-1. They beat the LA Chargers after Brady throws for 5 touchdowns. Looking at Scotty Miller, what did you see out of him today? 4 catches for 76 yards, and when Brady needed to thread the needle deep, he got it to him. He caught it. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
I mean, and that's what you got to build trust with Tom Brady, and that's just been the whole thing. Tom Brady gives him all these compliments week in and week out. Finally starting to see him produce some things. I think the defense for the Chargers coming to this game kind of knew, okay, we got to make sure that Scotty Miller doesn't take over the top. So, some of the times he couldn't get out there. He runs fast, but you still have that safety coverage. You have the cornerbacks and the linebackers. You all to get through all that.
Yeah.
But I think when the game started to open up for the Bucs offense and the Chargers were like, holy crap, what do we do here? They're starting to come back.
Sure.
I think it's when you really start to see Scotty Miller come into the game. And that trust between him and Tom Brady is I think it's really starting to pay off. I just would like to see more consistency from, Scotty Miller, running his routes and catching the ball. He is a smaller guy, so it's kind of hard for those 50-50 balls or whatnot, but I definitely think this is a big step, from last week.
Nice to see him in that second half because he had a big, deep catch, and then they get the ball back to him beautifully. A beautiful fake to the running back and just a strike from Brady to him in the end zone. It's touchdown, and the Bucs, man, they just offensively, boom, 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 just like that fast.
And,
I don't know if, look, we saw a lot of big-time numbers put up, but that offense today in the second half, I don't think a lot of Bucs fans have seen an offense like that can score so quickly.
Yeah, I think the last time we saw that like a kind of like a shootout thing was, last season against the Seahawks, which defense went belly up in overtime or whatnot. But with that being said, you got Tom Brady. Could have had 6 touchdown passes if Keyshawn Vaughn didn't drop that one there at the goal line, but that's definitely what you want to see from your offense. Can you go toe-to-toe with somebody? And we saw, the Chargers almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champs, not too long ago. So it's not like a horrible Chargers team that they were going against.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they're competitive. They were competitive the whole game. They were competitive versus the Chiefs right now. They're 1-3, but they weren't going to lay down, and they had a quarterback today that, if you want to nitpick, and you definitely need to work on some things, completed some deep passes. I don't think the defense played well enough. It was an off game. Again, give them credit to where credit is due. That rookie quarterback came in there in a situation where you was facing a defense that got after it last week.
Yeah, definitely. I really want to talk about the safeties getting these sacks.
Let's talk about it.
Jordan Whitehead, they started out shaky, okay, but that second half they really showed up, I think. Antoine Winfield Jr. making some tackles on the outside to prevent some first downs. Jordan Whitehead with the second sack of the day there at the end of the game. I really, really enjoying how Todd Bowles is moving, not only the cornerbacks into certain positions, but definitely the safeties for some of the blitz. I know the Chargers had a penalty for chop block on Jordan Whitehead when he was trying to go in for blitz there. But definitely really enjoy seeing the safeties get back into these kind of like sack modes, kind of like going back to like watching John Lynch play football. And I kind of, get that kind of vibes from Anton Winfield. He wants to hit somebody.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really enjoy from Jordan Whitehead and Winfield Jr. They really want to hit people.
2 physical safeties that want to fly around the ball, and then also they have the instinctive ability to be ball hawks and make plays. And we saw the safeties today, not necessarily the best games, and that's going to come with time. Winfield, he's been very good. He didn't blow that coverage. It looked like it was Whitehead.
Yeah, it was definitely Whitehead, like Blake was talking about.
Right.
Winfield Jr.'s on the opposite side of the field. So, but definitely, that's something they're going to look at in film. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, that was stupid. I should have played to the player, not played to the ball or whatnot. So I'm pretty sure we'll see that cleaned up come Thursday night.
How concerned are you with O.J. Howard missing the rest of the season? I mean, you look so good today. It was a shame because we finally start to see some of that potential come out, but missing him, how concerned are you now?
I think the big question is if Mike Evans doesn't play Thursday, how concerned everyone will be. Because then Tom Brady's really, really limited to what he can throw to come Thursday night. Yeah. I really wanted to see Tyler Johnson catch pass today. I was really hoping he'd get out there. He was in there. He was decoying a few times for some run plays and stuff like that. So that might be a guy that really needs to step up in a big way, a big way.
I don't necessarily want to see Tyler Johnson because then you're telling me that Mike Evans can't play. But
exactly.
You're exactly right. You would like to see him contribute more. Even with all that said, with that, it looked like an ankle injury. We're not sure yet that he sustained in the first half. 7 catches, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. And there were some throws where a lot of people were saying, and I know my guy, Tristan Gray, came on this show a couple Mondays ago and said, Brady's never going to throw that 50-50 ball. He threw it right up there and let Evans go up and get it.
He threw 2, I think, actually, on the sidelines there.
Yes.
Hey, that's Mike Evans' strong suit, okay? He's a big dude, 6'5", however tall he is. Very aggressive wide receiver.
Mismatch nightmare. Yeah. I mean, that's what you do.
Anywhere you put him up. You put him in the slot, put him on the outside, it doesn't matter. You give him the 50-50 chance, and 90% of the time, he's going to get the ball. I mean, he might get a pass interference call here or there, might get one little slide there, like on that last one, but that's the kind of receiver we want to see week in, week out.
So it's like crickets right now. I mean, the Bucs won. They go to 3-1. You guys decide not to call the phone line. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with editor-in-chief, Mr. Philip Schwegler, here live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. Once again, just a great day, and that second half really turned around. I think there's a lot of Bucs fans that freak out. And it's almost like they're waiting for this whole bridge to go down. It's just not going to go down. It's not.
Yeah, I'm hoping, the Buccaneers, they just go 3-1 each, quarter of the season.
Sure.
We'll be looking pretty good here for the postseason. But, this is all building blocks. And this is, Tom Brady has talked about this in his press conference. It's going to take time to put everything together. And we're maybe start to see the offense go another step forward next week. And then the week after that, another step. And we start to see all these crazy plays that are going to happen with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller. It's just going to be awesome. When we come back on here and we start talking fourth quarter of the season, the last little push of the season, this offense should be top 5 in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, I tell you right now, the Bucs definitely get a break right before the half, as we spoke about. That big turnover, kind of a questionable call. You got the lead 24-7. Why not be a little bit more conservative, take a knee, but instead you're handing it off, and you basically give the Bucs that momentum that they absolutely need. And when they get into that red zone offense has been tremendous.
10 for 10,
year.
10 for 10.
Amazing. 10 for 10 opportunities in the red zone. That's money.
Yeah, and I think Bruce Arians was saying in his press conference, I think Greg Arman had actually tweeted it, that he thought they were going to kneel the ball. So with Ndamukong Suh coming up with that forced fumble, more or less, I thought, it was a botched, handoff or whatnot.
Right.
They definitely took the opportunity
Same
to score.
type of play that you had last week with, I think it was last week against the Panthers.
Yeah, with Leonard Fournette.
No, I believe it was Tom Brady and Ronald Jones. Was it Leonard Fournette?
No, I think Jones was the week before. Yeah.
So you have that situation. You have those situations happen, and you give those opportunities, and that momentum carries over for the Bucs. And then after that, they never look back. I mean, there were times where the Chargers had the lead. I get that. But you let them in, 24-7 to me, and that's a coaching decision that maybe you look back on and say, maybe we shouldn't have made that call.
Definitely. I mean, you get the ball back right away. So what are you trying to prove here? Okay,
right.
You guys are up. Cool. Take that lead and go into the second half. But
how did Keenan Allen do in this game? Because he made some big time catches. I want to get his statistics because he was talking a lot of stuff. I mean, are we still believing that Keenan Allen is a better wide receiver than Mike Evans?
No, definitely not.
I don't believe that either.
I'm not even going to entertain that.
But he did have some plays today that he made.
Keenan Allen, he had 8 receptions for 62 yards, and he had 12 targets.
Well, there
and
you
then,
go.
Let's look at what was Mike Evans again?
Yeah,
Mike Evans,
7 catches, 122 for a touchdown.
Yep, 8 targets,
and
all
largely
but 1.
And largely on offense took over this game.
Yep, definitely.
So-
And that's the difference, I think, between Keenan Allen and Mike Evans. Mike Evans can take over a game. Any game, if Mike Evans gets hot, a 100-yard game, whatever, a couple touchdowns here and there, he takes over the game for the receiving core.
Yeah. All right, you guys are awesome. Only post-game show on right now. Fire those cannons. We shall. And that is Duvon, I think, one of the newest web heads here. Again, if you get on here, what is this? It's the evolution of sports talk television. Is it a radio show? Is it a TV show? It's both. It's not a podcast. It's all recorded. Of course, we lost the stream there for just a tad bit, but we're back here. An open phone line, of course, the sports web powered by 320solar.com, 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391 as the Bucs defeat the Chargers 38-31 to move to 3-1. That Thursday night matchup versus the Chicago Bears. And right now, the Bears are losing to the Indianapolis Colts, which are an interesting team, an interesting matchup, if you will. Colts, a big-time offensive line versus a pretty good defense. Once again, this Bucs team is going to have their hands full because the Bears are definitely not going to lay down, especially if they lose this game. They have a new starting quarterback there. I don't necessarily think they have a lot of weapons. I think it favors the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even without a Chris Godwin and an O.J. Howard.
No, I definitely do. I definitely think so. You know, the big storyline I think heading into this Thursday night game is the Chicago Bears defensive front versus the Buccaneers offensive front. Yep. I think that's really where the game's going to be decided there in the trenches, and that's pretty much every game is decided in the trenches. Talking honestly about it. So, but yeah.
Yeah, we got right now, Daryl Floyd says Buccaneers played great. I think they can become a problem for the Chiefs. He said next week, but it's not the Chiefs that they're going to play. They're going to play them later on. So that's going to be unbelievable. Right now, Indianapolis beating Chicago 7-3. We saw Dallas lose to Cleveland. Odell Beckham went off today.
Yeah, he did.
3 touchdowns.
He did.
Amazing.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield and the Browns put the hurting on Dak Prescott over there.
Chill Will says Brait will contribute.
Yep.
So he's going to have to.
Yeah.
He's going to have to with the news today that O.J. Howard has a ruptured Achilles tendon, according to Bruce Arians, and in care of Greg Allman of The Athletic. What else did you see today?
Oh, kind of talking about the offense again. They're still implementing more and more of Bruce Arians' playbook,
sure,
which is good. But they need to keep the hot start that they had 3 weeks prior to this week, without scoring opponents. What was it, like 33 points or something like that to 10 or whatever it was? Not so much today, but then again, I really enjoyed what I saw with them coming back into the game. They weren't running the ball in first down. We're playing to their strengths. They can throw the ball. They have the receivers to catch the ball. They have Tom Brady with the arm to make the plays. So you got to do what you got to do to win games. But I definitely was very, very encouraged by Ronald Jones today. Finally made it over that 100-yard mark and definitely looked pretty good. I think his vision on the field, you watch some of his runs, some of the longer runs, he was definitely looking at the second level of the defense, starting to look at the third level. Where can I fit in? Where can I make my cuts, and where can I get my burst from? So kudos to Ronald Jones for really playing a really good game today.
I told you, man, victim of volume. A VOV, a victim of volume. 20 carries, 111 yards to Mr. Ronald Jones. I think he left some yards out there. He's got to improve. He's got to get better with catching the ball out of the backfield, because look, if he can catch the ball out of the backfield and he can hit that space, you get him to that second or third level. He's special, Phil.
No, he is.
He really is.
He is. He's got that speed. As soon as he gets behind somebody, that's it. And we're starting to see some strength from him too.
Yeah.
Pushing those pockets, or not pockets, pushing the piles, I guess you would say, moving to 2 or 3 more yards up, 4 more yards up. I think it was last week they had that run within like the 15-yard line, and they thought it was a tackle for loss. Ended up being like an 8-yard run or something like that. So, what
are you more surprised by? The defense's inability to not get after Herbert, or the ability of the offensive line by the Bucs? I'm not giving up any sacks today.
I'm not too surprised about the offensive line, because I think Tom Brady's only been sacked maybe 8 times this season or whatnot, heading into 4 weeks here. I was more surprised about the defensive front seven not coming home more. And Shaq Barrett had that one sack, but I mean, Justin Herbert laid down.
Sure.
He was not going to get hit, so you can count that as a sack. Jordan Whitehead sack, yeah, that was good. Safety dropping down or whatnot.
Right.
But I was definitely more surprised, especially with the amount of blitz that we saw from Todd Bowles today. I figured somebody would get home. I didn't really hear Jason Pierre-Paul's name called, maybe for one tackle for loss. At Shaq Barrett, that other than that one sack, I really didn't see much from him.
Right.
I
watched it. He slid down. Herbert slid down because he saw Barrett lurking, and they got a credit for that sack. There was some pressure today. Vita Vea once again.
Monster.
Anybody that's out there saying the Bucs should have drafted a Derwin James, I think you should turn on the tape because honestly.
Yeah, he was a monster. He was taking 2 or 3 guys with them. Now, I really did enjoy watching the defensive line manipulate the pocket because that's what you want to do. You want to conquer the pocket of the opposing offense.
You get the penetration, and then it opens up. I will say this. When you're so aggressive as a defense, and talk to Blake Anthony offline about this, when you're so aggressive, it seems like they're susceptible to the screen game, and that came back to haunt them today. Even Hunter Henry, who went for 30 yards, on a screen game. That's where I think the Bucs defense has to improve. But how do you do that when you are so aggressive and you're always trying to get upfield?
It's kind of like pick your poison, I guess. You want to throw the kitchen sink at him, make sure the kitchen sink hits them.
Right,
what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's something I want to talk about too, real quick. Coming to this game, we were kind of talking about, at least I was, seeing the tight end matchups for the Buccaneers against the Chargers linebackers. Didn't really see much of that.
No.
That short game, the underneath game with the tight ends. I was really looking forward to some small throws at Gronkowski, some small throws at OJ or whatever, or Cameron Brate. Didn't really see that much, but we did see the Chargers use that against the Buccaneers today, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. It's kind of like they're taking a page out of their own playbook and using it against you. All right, open phone lines powered by 320solar.com. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with editor-in-chief here of Bucs Report, Mr. Philip Schwegler. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla de Sol as the Bucs beat the Chargers 38-31 to move to 3-1. Yes, we will be live on Thursday night. Rain or shine, we will be here live on the Sports Web. Probably do a pregame show about 6:30, maybe 7. For an 8:20 game. So we'll see how that works out here. Dubon, yes, you got the name right, man. How huge was that fumble before the half? Almost did not score, but the Bucs prevail. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Swung.
And people say, well, momentum doesn't exist in sports.
No,
yes, it does. In that situation, it exists because you see an offense that's struggling to find their identity. You see a Chargers team that seems like they're dialed in. They're stopping them. You see a defense that's beleaguered by that Chargers offense, and then you give them that opportunity to get back in the game. You can't give a Tom Brady offense that short of a field.
No.
You just can't do it.
No, heading in this game, the Chargers had the number one red zone defense, only giving up 2 touchdowns, I think, in 3 weeks of play.
Yeah.
And Buccaneers put up a lot of points on that number one red zone defense today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, let's go out to from Reno, Nevada. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the info. Absolutely, Ron. Definitely get on the phone lines or keep on tuning in. We'll be live tomorrow night. Yours truly, along with the Tampa Bay sports broadcasting legend, 40 years sports broadcasting experience, WTSP Channel 10, WFTS Channel 28, Mr. Al Keck with his thoughts at 9 o'clock, and then we'll have Leo Haggerty on at 10, the legend himself, former Coach Scout, and now media member of Night Sports Productions. And then, of course, your phone calls and plenty of guests. You never know who's going to chime in here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Update the game right now. Indianapolis beating the Chicago Bears 7-3. We'll be watching that. Of course, on Monday night, in case you missed the news, it will be the Chiefs and the Patriots at 7 o'clock. At 8:50, it will be the Packers versus the Atlanta Falcons as they try to get that situation turned around quick. If not, it's curtains most likely for Dan Quinn. And then, of course, locally here, you got the Tampa Bay Rays playing the New York stinking Yankees to start that playoff series tomorrow. So plenty of sports, a plethora of sports. Yes, Leo word. Opportunities to watch sports tomorrow night as the Bucs once again go to 3-1. So what else? What else did you see out of this game?
Can I say how much I hate how Phillip Rivers throws the ball? I hate how he throws the ball.
Isn't it weird?
I don't know how he does that.
It's the sidearm thing. He's kind of like got that Kozar thing going on.
I don't know.
So weird. But I tell you right now, and you look at that defense, you see number 52. I mean, that is who the Bucs are going to have to focus on Thursday night. That is going to be your center of attention. And what you hope is that the offensive line does a great job like they did today in keeping Bosa. Let's talk about Tristan Wirfs, who has been unbelievable as a rookie. You really haven't seen the Donovan Smith type of plays where Smith goes Olay. Wirfs has been the real deal. He was absolutely worth the price of admission of drafting him 13th overall.
Yeah, I think one of the bigger things that separates possibly Donovan Smith to Tristan Wirfs is I think the footwork.
Technique.
You look at Tristan Wirfs, he holds his weight better, I guess you could say, when he's trying to shimmy out the around the pocket or whatnot on the offensive line. And I think that's where he wins a lot of those matchups, especially going against, today we had watched him go against Bosa and in week 1 against the Saints or whatnot. So definitely he's a little more athletic than Donovan Smith is. But, no sacks given up today. I'm not going to really harp too much on the offensive line. I still think Tristan Wirfs is playing at a very high level for being a rookie, especially holding down that right side of the line, going against some of the best pass rushers that they're going to see this year.
I want to go back to my original point that started the show where I was saying victim of volume, but the reason why you want him a victim of volume, you have balance to this offense that opens up those opportunities down the seam and an O.J. Howard down the seam for a Mike Evans across the middle, because now they're basically cheating up and trying to put 8 men in the box. So you put 8 men in the box, basically, Phil, you have one-on-one coverage. You want that matchup all day long.
Yeah. And as we're talking about Mike Evans, one-on-one matchup. Anytime you see Mike Evans, down the sideline there, one-on-one matchup, that's a 50-50 ball. You throw it every single time.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see Scotty Miller maybe get some of those one-on-one matchups. I think they ran 4 verticals on that last long pass he had. So, as long as he can get behind the safety, I mean, that's easy 30, 40 yards or whatever it is.
Are you surprised with Scotty Miller's play? I mean, he's really started to step up and show the reason why the Bucs drafted him last year.
Yeah, I definitely think he's definitely grown a lot from, not even just at camp, but, running through these first few games now.
It's all about play awareness.
Yeah,
because last year when he gets on the field, it doesn't necessarily believe where he's at. You don't think he knows where he's at in game time situation. Seems like a totally different player, much like a Ronald Jones. Sometimes those players, they kind of need that development.
Yeah, no, definitely with Scotty Miller, I think as soon as he realizes when he gets behind the safety that Tom Brady's going to throw the ball to him and he's got to catch it. And he's starting to get better at that. And that's another one of those deep threats that the Buccaneers have. Not only Mike Evans on the running against the sideline, but you have Scotty Miller. If he can get back there fast enough, he can beat the safety out. I mean, that's automatic, big plays. And I think at one point in the game, the Buccaneers had 6+ 20-yard plays for the day, which is, pretty huge. Those are big momentum swinging plays.
Right. Those are, and again, you want to put this offense. There was some type of statistic out there where the Bucs, if they're facing 3rd and 10, they're like 1 of 13 or 1 of 14. So if you get those manageable situations, and I get it, you can't always run on first down, but if you're gaining 4 to 5 yards, that makes those 2nd and 3rd down plays more manageable.
And I think today the Buccaneers average a 3rd down and go to was like 7.7 yards or something ridiculous.
That's all day long. You'll take that. You'll take the 7 yards. If it's 9, if it's 12, if it's 15, then there's only so much you can do, because then basically that defense is going to try to play back with their guys 7 and 8 men in the back.
Yeah, they're going to play the soft coverage. They're going to take the underneath pass to the running back and then tackle them there and watch them punt. So
yeah, absolutely good stuff. So the Bucs move to 3-1 as they defeat the LA Chargers 38-31. We're here live on Bucs Report. Get on the phone lines, powered by 320solar.com. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Surprises around the NFL today. You had the Cowboys and the Browns. They were in a shootout, but once again, this Cowboy defense is not very good.
No, it's not, and I really don't.
I really don't. I mean, I don't know what to say at this point. You have Dak, you have Ezekiel, CD Lamb, all these offensive weapons, but if you're not able to stop anybody,
there's no point. I mean, we did see them come back against the Falcons, and that's the second week in a row the Falcons got a big lead and just went belly up under Raheem Morris there.
I tell you right now, you go back to the Browns and Stefanski being hired from Minnesota. Predominantly, the reason why you hire him as a coach is because he's going to move that running back. They're going to depend on those running backs and take the pressure off of a Baker Mayfield. That seems like it's working right now with the 1-2 punch of Kareem Hunt And it looked like Johnson today. I don't know if it was Duke Johnson today. I think it was Duke Johnson.
Yeah, because Nick Chubb went out of the game.
Nick Chubb went out of the game with a knee injury, which was unfortunate. Hopefully it's not serious, but they're really doing that. You have the Lions getting out to a big lead at first, and then basically the Saints, who looked like they were in trouble, coming back and winning that game. How big is that for them?
I think that's real big, especially they weren't playing too well there for the first 3 games, minus the Buccaneers game week 1. But that's more or less the pick 6 and the other 2 interceptions. But the Saints are still a good team. Okay, they still have a great defense. They're gonna get Michael Thomas back here at some point. You still have Alvin Kamara. That's a good team. I still think gonna be Buccaneers and Saints battling out for the division. Just hoping the Buccaneers win a few more games than they do, but that's still a really good team. I think Drew Brees started to bounce back a little bit. He had some deep throws today, not so much with the noodle arm, whatever it's called.
Well, that team is different without Michael Thomas. The receiver today stepped up, and of course Alvin Kamara is a fantasy god this year. I mean, just scoring touchdowns. If you drafted him, you're definitely happy with that. Any concern? I mean, I get it. Suckup gets the 26-yard field goal, but any concern about Suckup going forward? Have they finally solved this kicking situation?
I think so. I really hope so. Just Buccaneers kickers and Raymond James, they don't go together.
Yes.
We just always have that issue there, especially in the south end zone. But I don't see any confidence. Anything that's going to take away confidence from Suckup making kicks here in the future.
Yeah, I agree. The story again today, though, Brady, 30 for 46, 369, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. I get it. He had the pick 6. It's 1 interception, but it's 1 interception to 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that play needs to go out the door. I'm telling you right now. No more out routes to Justin Watson.
It's like the what was it? It's like the handoff to the wide receiver, the end around play.
Oh, the end around, yeah.
Never works.
No. Unless it's Georgia Tech in 2013 against Florida State, when I thought they were going to beat the Noles that year. But that's the only time you see that end around really work. But yeah, definitely.
What else, buddy? What else did you see in this game? I mean, not having Godwin. We talked about Miller and Evans.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin Watson, after that play, kind of redeemed himself, had a couple good catches. I mean,
I think Justin Watson's big thing is he has to use his body. Okay.
Yeah.
He use the body as an extension of his arms or something, be more confident in the way he catches the ball.
Sure.
It seems like Blake was talking about this like he does every week. It seems like every time Justin Watson catches the ball, it's like some big thing. He's got to fall down or start tripping or, something weird. So that's when we start seeing Tom Brady really throw that ball like in his arm, like in his, his arm pocket, the elbow, whatever you want to call it, making sure he's going to catch the ball. So it's definitely something that Justin Watson needs to work on. He's still what I think this is second season now.
Yes.
That's something he's going to work on. He's got Mike Evans.
Season,
yeah, exactly. He has Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, those kind of guys to really coach him up. But that's definitely one of the things that he really needs to work on is catching the ball effortlessly.
Yes, very good. Leo word. And I wait to the day, even though the Bucs didn't necessarily play a complete game today.
Yeah.
I wait for the day when the Bucs play a complete game.
Yeah, that's going to be scary. I'm telling you, especially both sides of the ball.
Yep, agree. All right, let's go back out to the webheads here. Read these comments and shirts of followers. No, I'm not, but thank you very much. And I guess the trolls have decided to take over the Twitch channel for Bucs Report. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and end it off here. It's been a great day here live at the Deck Bar and Grill. Thanks a lot once again for everybody wishing me a happy birthday. You made me feel very special. It's a great thing when you can wake up and you can work and be a part of a platform that has guys like a Philip Schwegler and a Blake Anthony and a Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy and a Joshua Cole Allen and Andrew Fulbear, the big board, and of course Keith Larson and Al Keck and guys like that. Even now we are going to be showing TJ Reeves.
Yeah,
who
that's
I go,
really
go
exciting.
back with of the Buccaneer Radio Network with his Three Dog podcast, which will be shown here eventually. So it's a great day. It's a great thing to be a part of. And I just thank everybody out there for making me feel special on my day.
Yeah, no, you're special every day, but yeah.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. So final thoughts. We got Thursday, so we'll be back here on Thursday night.
Well, quick turnaround this week, but overall, I think great win for the Buccaneers. I think they go to sleep knowing that they did their best today, and the better team did win.
Like I said, The NFL should be petrified about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when you have Tom Brady, who all was said about how his arm strength wasn't good enough. He was done. Once again, 30 for 46, 369, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. The victim of volume, 20 carries for 111 yards from Mr. Ronald Jones. And the defense does just enough to close it out as they beat the LA Chargers 38-31 to move to 3-1 here on the Sports Web. For Mr. Philip Schwegler, editor-in-chief of Bucs Report, for Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49, joining us before in Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Enjoy it. Victory Monday. Bucs go on to win against the LA Chargers 38-31 to go to 3-1. Do 3 things for me on this Sunday afternoon victoriously. Say it loud and proud. 3 things. You ready? Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. We'll see you on Monday night on the evolution of Sports Talk Television, powered by 320solar.com. Have a great night. The evolution of Sports Talk Television live here nightly on Bucs Report. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about on tonight's show. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Will you shut up and be quiet?
Come to Sam Ash for hundreds of exclusive holiday deals on music and sound gear from the most iconic brands. Save big on professional and starter guitars, drums, digital pianos, horns, violins, DJ, and electronic production equipment. Supercharge your home studio with deals on podcasting, streaming, and AV equipment like speakers, microphones, headphones, and acoustic treatment. Plus, with 36 months no-interest financing on thousands of items, you can get the gear of your dreams right now. From our incredible selection and service to our lowest price guarantee for over 95 years, real musicians know you only go to Sam Ash.
Power bill through the roof? At 320 Solar, that power bill will be no more. In fact, about 90% of our customers report lower solar payments than with electricity. That's more power in your pocket. 320 Solar. Power up. Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down. But the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing you will do the job right every time without question. 320 Solar. Power up.
And I be going hard like I'm ballin'. Ain't no need for poker face. Let you know I'm all in, all in.
Buccaneers score, fires a cannon, touchdown. He's gonna go down. He's sacked for the 5th time today. Intercepted, picked off at the 40-yard line.
This is a movie, we ain't actors though. You better stay seated, tune in to the after show.
He will be snapping for Shaquille Barrett. Mike Evans. It's to the Mike Evans drive.
Johnny Miller's got it inside the 40.
He said Antoine Winfield and the rookie team.
And I be going hard like I'm
Tries to step on. Hits the 5. Reaches the left. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Slices away to the 40. To the 35 to the 30. 4 to the 10 line. Reaches the 1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.